Okay, so we are now back in the bathroom where I go and I do my washing on my fleece. I actually have several bathrooms, and this one is dedicated to my fleece washing. And so I turn on my tap water. I have, again, my water heater is turned up all the way. So the water is very hot that comes out of here, and it's hot enough to the point that once it really gets going, I really don't want to keep my hands in it. So I fill up the tub and that, or my little dish pans, with water, and I fill those all the way up to the top. Okay, so now we've filled the dish pans full of water, and that we're going to go and we're going to put the soap in. And that big thing is you want to put your soap in after you fill the dish pans, because you do not want to create a bunch of suds. If you create a bunch of suds, it's going to be much more difficult to get it out of your fleece. Experienced that before, so no suds. And with this batch, what I'm going to do is I am going to do the Orvis. I have a little spoon here I'm using to kind of measure it out a little bit, and that little scoop. And then this stuff, I got to kind of work on getting it to dissolve. So I found that just kind of gently stirring it around in the water gets it to dissolve and off the spoon. Check, yeah, still there. And you can kind of see there is some suds in that. You know, big thing is you don't want a whole bunch of big suds. So, you know, kind of be gentle on, you know, when you stir things, you know, gentle hands. All right, and then we are going to go ahead and we'll scoop again. I apologize for kind of the jiggly camera action. A little more difficult doing it one-handed with holding a camera. And so we put another spoonful, and we're doing this into the black. Okay, so now we've mixed the Orvis paste in, and I know some people actually just use Orvis paste, and that's all they use on their scouring. I've read different things about it. I've read with the Orvis paste, it works best if you have soft water. I'm on well water. My well water, it is hard. And then I've also read that, you know, and, you know, it can work on, you know, everything. It kind of depends. And then I just put in some palm olive and that my dish soap and that. Okay. You want to put enough soap in so that the water itself has kind of a slippery feel to it. I've also heard, like with the Dawn, you want kind of like a bluish tinge. You know, what you want to do is you want to make sure that there is actually enough soap. And now I have the laundry detergent here. And I just put a little bit into the cap, not a whole lot. And I just go ahead and pour that into my water. All right. And again, just a little bit. And into the water. All right, we're almost ready to put our fleece in, and that the next thing that I do before I put my fleece in is that I go and I have a spatula that was part of a set that I bought for when I was for dyeing my wool. And the spatula is what I use for going and for mixing my water. And so I just go ahead and I gently stir the water and that so that all my soaps that I've put in here will mix and it will dissolve into the water, and it will it just makes a solution is the best way to describe it. And I also, for the red one, stir that one. And I gently, just a back and forth, you don't need to be vigorous with this. All you want to do is you just want to mix the soap and the water together. All right, so that's pretty good. That should be pretty much mixed. Now, we're gonna go and we're gonna try to put a glove on. I'm gonna set the camera down here for just a moment and get to look at that lovely spatula. And that, I'm gonna do just one glove so that I can try to show you guys what I'm doing with the camera. All right, so I have my fleece that's sitting here in the colanders that I brought in. And that I just gently go ahead and I put that right into the dishpan and put the other one into the dishpan. And I gently, very gently, you don't want to be hard on this, I just push it down. And at the colander sometimes go, the edges, the handles will catch, and you have to readjust those. And you can see dirt and stuff already releasing. And I just gently, gently push it under the water a little bit and then leave it. It's easy to want to kind of keep fooling with it. When you have dirty tips, you want to kind of try to, some people will go and they'll rub at the tips under water and that to release the dirt from the tips. Or they'll run the tips over a soap bar. And while that may work, the more you do to the wool, especially when it's wet, when you have the heat and when you have soap, and then you add the agitation, the more likely you are going to be to felt your wool. And that felting, it has several things that need to happen. You have to open up the scales of the wool, and that is done by the heat. You end up having to have soap, adds in extra, it makes it so that it's easier to felt, and then agitation and that. And then what happens is the scales on the wool, they stick together. And then when that temperature drops, they close. And it's like Velcro, but it's not like, it's not Velcro that you can just easily pull apart. This stuff, it gets stuck. So our fiber is now in its first soak, and that with the soap, this is going to start releasing the lanolin and also releasing dirt. I'm going to set the timer for 20 minutes and then we'll be back.